Thanks for joining us for 9 News at noon. I'm Tom Green. It was just over an hour ago that the man accused of driving drunk and killing a Golden police officer, hurting his partner as well in a car wreck last week, was in court. Stephen Gear stands accused of crashing into cars while officers were investigating a separate crash. Gear was formally charged this morning. Those charges include vehicular homicide DUI and vehicular assault DUI. Gear is accused of crashing into a car on Highway 58. It was last Wednesday. Officer Evan Dunn and his partner, Officer Bethany Grusing, were investigating a previous crash. Dunn was killed. Grusing seriously hurt. The arrest affidavit says investigators noticed a strong alcohol smell on Gear's breath and that he was unsteady. Gear claimed he'd only had one 16-ounce beer. Investigators did issue a blood draw. And in El Paso County, a Colorado State trooper is recovering today after the CSP says a suspected drunk driver hit him while on duty yesterday. According to CSP, Trooper Tyler Atkins was in his patrol car working a crash late in the afternoon when another car hit him. This happened along Highway 115, about 5 miles southwest of Colorado Springs. A helicopter airlifted Trooper Atkins to the hospital, but he was released last night. The U.S. Postal Service is trying to find a way to prevent any more drivers from hitting one of its locations in Boulder. The post office at 55th and Valmont has now been crashed into 3 separate times just in a matter of months. The first crash happened in July of 2023. A car drove through the lobby, hitting a customer on the other side. Well, it happened again 3 months ago in August and a third time just last week. Boulder fire officials say the building's structure is fine. USPS spokesperson James Boxrud can't pinpoint why it keeps happening, but does say now they're working with a contractor to install some barriers. They hope to have those in place before the holidays. 2 firefighters are now recovering. This after they were hurt while responding to a basement fire at a house in Green Valley Ranch last night. This happened in the neighborhood off of East 56, just west of E470. Crews were able to get the fire under control, but weren't sure just how badly it damaged the home. Both those firefighters had to go to the hospital, but one was released. The other is still getting medical care. At this time, it's unclear as to how severe their injuries are. Medics did evaluate one person inside the home who didn't need to go to the hospital. McDonald's is once again serving onions on its quarter pounders. Those onions, though, are coming from an entirely different supplier. This comes as the number of cases related to last month's McDonald's E. coli outbreak ticked up yet again. The CDC saying there's now 1 more case in Colorado and 13 more in other states. The total number of cases nationwide now up to 104. There's also now a case in a 14th state, North Carolina. The man who died in Mesa County is still the only fatality, but 34 people have been hospitalized for developing serious kidney issues. The CDC says it was likely linked to the onions served on McDonald's quarter pounders. The supplier of the onions, Taylor Farms, has recalled the onions. McDonald's has started putting those onions back on the menu, but they're saying they're using a different supplier. Beautiful November day outside, and it's going to stay that way for the next several days as well. Meteorologist Kathy Sabin with us, the 9 News Weather Impact Team. Certainly like these skies. Oh, isn't it great? Yeah. And, you know, anything you want to do today, Tom, or tomorrow will just be so much easier with this calm weather pattern that we have. Outside right now, we've got blue skies, light winds, good travel on I-25, great visibility, and good travel into I-70 as well, heading up to the mountains. The headlines, a mild, dry afternoon. We are tracking another storm that could bring snow to the mountains as early as Saturday. At this point, no winter weather or travel advisories are posted, but the leading edge, as we can see those high clouds streaming into Salt Lake City and Casper ahead of the main system still offshore, but getting set to move inland. This will be a part of our extended weather forecast coming up, but ahead of it, temperatures are going to trend warmer, with the exception of snow-covered areas, as in Lyman at 44, Denver, DIA at 50, and we're in the mid-50s here in the city. So watching the wind as well, ticking up a bit out of the south and southwest ahead of that approaching system, but your afternoon looks terrific for anything you might want to do. Shopping, lunch on the patio, maybe take the dog for a walk or the kids to the park after school. Temperatures in the 50s now, dropping into the 40s around sunset. There is a storm and a chance for snow in Denver's forecast. I'll detail all of that coming up. Colorado Parks and Wildlife officials are in full prep mode for what is the next phase of the state's wolf reintroduction program. The agency meeting this morning, they were scheduled to hear from Tim Richard with Middle Park Stock Growers Association, who's advocating for a delay in that next phase until they can address the conflicts between wolves and livestock. The commission won't vote on this today. In the meantime, CPW reports that wolves have killed at least 26 sheep and cows this year. The agency is planning to get up to 15 more wolves from Canada and then release them in Colorado between December and March. CPW is considering to release those wolves in 3 different counties: Garfield, Eagle, and Pitkin. Rio Blanco County was also considered, but CPW took that off the table for a few reasons, including proximity to livestock and the potential impact to elk and deer herds. The agency will now assess possible sites and consider other feedback from local officials and community members. CPW also starting a different type of release right now. 15 black-footed ferrets will go back into the wild in Lamar between right about now and 5 o'clock this evening. They are one of the most endangered mammals in North America. CPW biologists, though, say the ferrets are naturally reproducing for the first time at one of its reproduction sites. And this isn't the first time the ferrets have been let out into the wild, though. Colorado began reintroducing them more than 20 years ago.